Hey y'all, welcome back. I feel like I'm finally at a point where I can physically tell this story. I had a stroke when I was 24, which was 2 years ago and some months. What it was, June 7th, 2022. Okay, so before I start, I do want to let y'all know that I still struggle with my speech. Like, I know what I want to say, but it might come out as something else. I'm not sure why, but I still struggle with it. That's why I really don't say much. Let me just start off with like how it happened. I was on a night shift as a chemical lab tech. It's crazy. I was at this job for almost a year and I had a lab partner like basically the whole time. Before this happened, my lab partner got switched out to a different shift like a month before. Like I was just so good at my job. I was trusted to be by myself. So that night I was by myself. I was working from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and like I was good all night. The only thing is I was throwing up every single thing I eat. Like I could drink some water, I would throw it up. I had like some candy in my bag. I ate that, throw it up. I didn't know anything was really wrong with me. I don't know what I thought. Maybe I didn't think nothing. I'm the type of person to deal with something. Like if I feel bad and I had something to do prior, I'm still gonna do it. I'm just deal with it. Okay, so we gonna just skip to 3:30 in the morning. Cause I was good though. Not really good, but for the most part, I was good for the whole shift. So we gonna just skip to like 3:30 a.m. I decided that I was gonna go to the break room. I was in the break room for like 30, 40 minutes, I don't know. And I was on my laptop doing some things around 3, I don't know, I'm gonna just say 3:50 or 4 o'clock. I decided, okay, it's time to go back to work. So I was packing up my laptop in my bag. And when I got up, I fell. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I got up again and I fell again. I'm like, okay, that's weird. But when I got up for the third time, I say, oh no, something is wrong. And then as I got up the third time, I threw up. And I don't know if I tried to get up again or something, because I ended up outside of the room. I must have tried to get up again, but I couldn't. Immediately, I called my boyfriend. I told him something is wrong with me. I couldn't walk and to come get me. The reason why I didn't call the ambulance is because where I worked at, I worked in the middle of nowhere. So I know where the ambulance be parked at. I know everything because I'm from the area. So I knew it would have took like a little minute for the ambulance to come get me. So I just decided to call him. And I hung up with him. I called my manager. And I told him something is wrong with me and that I don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's going on with me. And he immediately told me to call my boyfriend back and put them on three-way because the door of the building is locked. So he had to tell him how to get in and how to do everything. Let me just skip back. When he told me to put the phone on three-way, I noticed that like I couldn't. Like it was really hard to use my hand. But I ended up doing it. So yeah, I ended up putting him on three-way. He knew how to get in and all of this. And they did have a security guard at the bottom because I worked on the second floor. They had a security guard on the bottom floor, but she didn't make it to her shift until about 5. Yeah, 5. And they don't really do walkthroughs. They just checking people in. I guess I went to sleep until he came. I don't know really what happened in the moments I was by myself. I just know when I called him, I don't know. I heard his voice and he was running towards me. And he picked me up and he carried me to his car. And I don't remember the drive to the hospital, but we got to the first hospital. And like I said, I'm from this area. So I knew for a fact the hospital we arrived at, they're not equipped to well, at that moment, I didn't know anything was wrong with me. So we got to the first hospital and I don't really remember anything. I remember laying in the bed. Like everything from that moment on, it was blurry. Like it was just Like, I remember this, and I don't remember that, and I remember this. So I remember waking up in the hospital bed. I woke up to my mama's voice. It never dawned on me that something was wrong with me. It really didn't. I just woke up to her voice, and I overheard them saying, we're going to have to transfer her. I remember the people coming to transfer, people coming to get me. At that point, I just didn't, I guess I didn't understand what was going on. Because something like this never happened to me before, so I was just confused. I remember heading to the other hospital, which we now know was Tulane in New Orleans. Like, everything from that moment is really patchy. The transfer people came to get me. I remember them telling my boyfriend that he not gonna be able to drive in that state, because I guess, I'm not sure exactly what was going on at that moment, but they said he couldn't drive himself because he just didn't look up to it, I guess. I remember getting to the other hospital, and when we got there, they didn't have a room available, but they found me a room. I remember some doctors coming in, and they immediately like rolled me somewhere. And this is the last moment I remember them taking out my piercings. And after that, I don't remember. From them taking my piercings out, I woke up in the hospital bed. I'm not sure how long had passed from that time, but yeah, I was in the hospital. My family was surrounding me. I still did not know what was going on. In that moment, I wasn't aware of what happened. I wasn't aware that I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk, couldn't do nothing for myself. I wasn't aware of none of that. I didn't find out I couldn't walk until I got to the rehab in Metairie. That was the moment I found out I couldn't walk. The whole time I was at the other hospital, I didn't know I couldn't walk. I remember I had therapy one morning, and my mama, she showed me a video of myself, and I did not know like how serious this was. Like, when she showed me that video of myself, I burst into tears, because I'm like, this is really happening. Like, I can't believe this. That might have been my first day of therapy, when obviously when I found out I couldn't walk. I'm inserting the video of that. That was, when I watched that video so many times. I watched that video so many times, because I'm like, wow. And obviously, from that moment to now, you can tell, like, I'm getting there. Like, I mean, I'm not all the way back to myself at all. I still struggle with the left side of my body being weak. Like, my left hand, I don't have the function in it. And I noticed that my left leg is behind. Like, I notice when I'm on the treadmill, I can keep up on this leg, but on my left leg, I don't know. That's just crazy. I can't believe that happened. That was an experience, and I'm still going through it. It's crazy because the same week that happened, I had applied for this job multiple times. I had really wanted this job, and y'all, them people called me back, and I had to test for the job. Like, I knew I was going to get it. I was taking a test for the job. I had to retake one part. I paid for it and everything. And I'm gonna just say, like, the stroke happened on like a Tuesday. I had to go retake that test on a Thursday. And I was going to get that job. It's a lot that happened, but at the end of the day, I know it happened for a reason. So I know I'm gonna get a better job once I get back to myself. And I don't know if I said, but we was told that I had the stroke because of a heart murmur. I had born with a hole in my heart. But I will say that maybe I had got the COVID vaccine in January. I feel like that triggered something in my body. Like, it just didn't mix, I guess. Because how could I live my whole life with a heart murmur? And then it just happened that year. I don't know. But all I can say is, I thank God that I'm doing better. I'm progressing. Because if you saw me from the first day that happened, and everybody reads my paperwork, like when I go to the doctor, they read my paper. When they see me, they just like, oh my God, like, how? I don't know how, but all I know is I thank God. And I thank God for the people around me. They really showed up for me, like they really did. I'm trying to see if I'm getting something. If it's something I miss, or if you just have a question, feel free to ask me. Y'all, I forgot to add in that I was getting off in like 2 hours. If I would have been in my car driving, this could have been way worse. It's so many curves where I worked at. And also, I would have had to go over the Sunshine Bridge. I know y'all don't know what that is, but y'all can search it up. It's like a real narrow bridge. I don't mind answering any questions. So just, comment below. All I can say is I thank God. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like I don't know, I covered as much as I can remember right now. So like I said, if you have any questions, comment below. Y'all, I just watched that video back and I just realized how much better my speech has gotten. I told this story like a few months ago and it was so hard and the words was right in front of my face. Like I just couldn't read correctly or something. I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to come back and say that.